What's going on, people? Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at a recording that I have for the end of KVK, which was pretty exciting. We thought that it was going to be a little bit more exciting, if we're being honest, because we are in this huge LH kingdom, so we figured there was going to be 20, 30 rallies going into the base. But unfortunately, LH did not show up. It was just basically us hitting each other, so it was exciting as far as like, let's see who gets it, but we thought that we were gonna have some competition. But anyways, I guess, you know, I don't know if they went to another kingdom or whatever it was. Maybe they just didn't feel like it, but we thought it was gonna be a lot harder. Now, before we jump right into the recording, let's have a quick word from our sponsor. If you're one of these nice people that purchases packs and lets others get some nice rewards from it, make sure that you're saving some money using the Amazon Appstore and the Amazon coins, because if you're going to be purchasing packs, whether it's the $5 packs or you're going all the way to the $100 packs and you're trying to finish out some champion or trying to get Lunite, whatever it is that you're going to be purchasing, make sure that you're saving yourself some money and using the Amazon Appstore and the Amazon coins. Now, on April 3rd, there are going to be some rate changes, so make sure that you take advantage now before those changes are live. There is going to be a link down in the description and in the comment section to those changes, like an FAQ. That way you can read over it and familiarize yourself with the changes coming, so make sure that you take fully advantage of that. But for sure, whether you're trying to train some troops, or you need to upgrade your gear, or you're trying to max out a hero, whatever it is that you're working on now, save yourself some money through the Amazon Appstore and Amazon coins. The link to the download and the information is going to be down in the description and the comment section, like I mentioned. And if you haven't already started your savings, today will be a great time. Okay, so let's jump right into the recording. So my idea the whole time was to try and hit 2 seconds after the base is supposed to lock. After it goes to 0-0, I'm supposed to be hitting 2 seconds after. Now, you might be wondering, well, that doesn't make any sense, because if you're hitting 2 seconds after, you're going to be hitting a shield, and so what's the point? Well, the issue is that even though the base is going to be at 0-0-0, if you time your walk to actually hit at that time, the game for some reason always lags around and leaves it open for another 1 or 2 seconds. And even though the reports will say 0-0, you know that you hit way later than everybody else. And so that was my whole idea, is I'm probably the weakest lead here. I'm going to go 0-5-5, and 0-5-5 is notorious for being strong as a first hit. But if you get hit a second time after you've hit, unless it's something really cav heavy or something like that, you're going to be hurting. So I figured, okay, can't really have much to lose. I'll just go ahead and try to hit last, and if I don't hit, oh well, it doesn't matter. So like I mentioned before, we were expecting LH to at least come rally, but they never did. So it was basically just allies attacking allies, but we were just trying to have fun either way. Everybody said no Blackwing, so it was what it was. So at this point, if you notice, the regent or the overlord at the time was actually putting different titles on me. It was giving me Quartermaster, it was giving me also Bum. And if you are not familiar with those titles, Bum actually lowers your speed and Quartermaster actually makes you faster. So by switching titles around, what they were trying to do is trying to mess up my walk, either make me go a little early or a little too late. So what I ended up doing, you see me there looking at one troops. What I was doing there, see, they put Quartermaster on me, so that means I'm a little bit faster. What I'm doing there with the one troop is T5 infantry was my slowest moving troop, so that's how the march was going to go. And so I was just seeing what the time for me to walk was. So at this point, I already had 2 emulators going at the same time, and I had already the time of when I needed to walk depending on what title I had on me. And so even though he was switching titles around, I knew that with Quartermaster, I needed to walk at 154. And then after that, he did, like I'm going to be saying here, you know, I'm 2 seconds off, which is exactly what I wanted. But the regent over the overlord probably saw me being 2 seconds off and thought maybe that they did actually mess me up, when in fact, this was actually what I had planned the whole time, and I just needed to adjust on the fly, because those titles can absolutely destroy you. If I was Bum, it was about a 6-second difference from Quartermaster. So yeah, if I don't take those into account, and look, he already took it off of me. If I don't take those titles into account, I probably walk at 56 instead of 54 or 58, depending on the title, and I would have been one of the first to hit. Now, I will tell you right now, if I saw myself as being one of the first ones to hit, I wouldn't have hit, because I know the monsters that were coming up behind me. And listen, sometimes as a rally lead, you gotta pick your spots, right? In end of KVK, hitting first with a 055, while you're probably the weakest. No, you know what? I probably, not even probably, I think I was the weakest lead that was rallying the base. You don't want to go first, because you're just gonna end up being completely smashed. So, you know, I would have just canceled. So you see all of the rallies that were going in there. You got the 5-piece Emperor, OCR. It was just, it was either hit last or don't hit at all. So we have KW2, EW, GAV, ourselves, E plus D, CU, and maybe a couple of others. But here's the finale, and there we go. Now notice that the base would have hit 0, and it just kept allowing the rallies to hit and the rallies to hit. And yeah. If you're ever going to be rallying the end of KVK, especially if it's going to be a lot of rallies, what I would suggest you do is don't time it at the exact moment it goes to 0. Give it about a second or two off. Now, I don't know what the variable is. I don't know if you're the only rally, if that matters or not, but 2 seconds off was the perfect time this go around. Alright, so let's take a look and see how this went down. So it looks like 4K, Lana, and Lu hit All Saint first in the base. So that was the first hit. Then you had OCR hitting All Saint, which I feel bad for All Saint, because oh my god, I mean, look at that. His leader even got captured. Can you imagine getting a second hit by a 5-piece Emperor? Yeah, I don't want to mess with that. Then OCR got hit by Brawls, and then he got hit by, what is this? Surdungeon? Listen, I'm gonna mess that up. But either way, took that. That's the third hit, by the way. Think about that. That's 3 hits. Then Ben Q hit out OCR. And of course, this is a Baron max out account, so you know, it's a 4th hit, of course. And then I hit them out. We don't even want to take a look at me. And then I didn't even get the last hit. It was actually Sidgi here, and that's also another maxed Baron level account. So you might be wondering, how the hell? I was wondering how the hell I was actually able to not only hit one out, but take another hit. And I've saved the reports just that way we can take a look at this, okay? So, here is the first hit. So, of course, this is the second hit as far as how many Ben Q was going to take. So, it wasn't like full on full. It was my 055 essentially into like a 3 million comp. So, it was like a 4-4 type of comp, a little bit heavier inf. So, you know, I was always going to win this one just because of circumstance. You had a 055 into an inf heavy, like 4-4, and so, you know, you didn't even have 4 million troops. Honestly, even with 4 million troops, I don't think he would have won either way, just because of, you know, the counter. And then, I'm thinking, okay, after your 055 hits, the only thing that a 055 is going to take afterwards, it's probably like a calf blast. So I'm thinking I got super lucky, they sent a calf blast, you know, etc, etc. But take a look at this, especially from an account like this. Take a look at this. I won. I won by literally this littlest of margins. I had 3 million troops, they had a full march, but their fatal mistake was that they went cavalry phalanx. Now, when you're sending a 055 and you are hit the second go around, this infantry wedge doesn't matter as much anymore, because you're no longer going to have infantry as your buffer to make it work how you intended. So with the infantry gone and infantry wedge, you're basically going to have your range first. But because he went cavalry phalanx, I noticed that the familiars were not Cav familiars. So I took a look at the report and look at this. It was a 4-4 super heavy T5 4-4. Went into my, I guess you can call it makeshift 055 that had no infantry, but my saving grace was that he actually went into my range first and he was leading with his cavalry. That was really the only way that I was gonna win that. If he goes range phalanx, I lose. I honestly, if he goes infantry phalanx, I lose. So the only way that I was winning that is him going cavalry phalanx. Now I'm thinking that the reason they went cavalry phalanx is because if he's going to be hitting last, you're probably going to be hitting somebody with lower troops. So you're probably going to be running into somebody with like little range if you're going into like a 4-4, etc. So for instance, if he was to hit Ben Q instead of me being in there, he would have won just because he was his cavalry phalanx was going into what, less than 500k range, and then heavy into Inf Cav. So he would have actually gotten a really nice hit against Ben Q, but I kind of foiled it. So it was like a series of fortunate events for me, because even though I was sandwiched with a 055, which is something you never want to do, you want to hit last or not at all. It was just fortunate that I hit just the right comps and just the right formations in order for somebody as weak as me. Nowadays, I'm not even a lead anymore. Not for forts, not like that. But end of KVK, anything can happen, and anything did happen. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate you guys for coming through, and until later, bye. Also, don't forget to download the Amazon App Store down in the description and in the comment section.